Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz Video Recap. Today is Friday, December 2nd, and this is the search news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week. A lot to discuss again. There's something going on this week with the Google search results. There's crazy volatility, and it's been going on ever since a week ago, Friday of Thanksgiving. But it's been more intense in the past couple of days. Google also spoke a lot about links, scraped content, AI, and tons of more SEO topics, so I'll catch you all up on that. Google's Discover report, the performance report in Google Search Console was improved, more accurate. And today, December 2nd, is the 19th year anniversary birthday of me writing about search. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to Search Engine Roundtable. And of course, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Bruce Clay. Thank you, Bruce. Bruce Clay is one of the founding fathers of, is the founding father of SEO. Doing SEO since 1996 or so. He also has great SEO training at SEOtraining.com, so definitely check them out as well. Check out this commercial. I think it's great. Hope you enjoy it. From Bruce Clay.
We got the files!
Hurry! Quick! Take it!
And the files are uploaded to our site.
We did it.
Now the whole world will finally know the truth.
Uh-oh, we have a problem.
What is it? Did they track us?
I guess I forgot to do SEO, but SEO's easy. Yeah, I'll just buy some links.
Sometimes you can hire anybody to do a job.
Where'd you find this guy?
He's my cousin.
But not SEO. If you want to increase visibility to your site, you need experts. At bruceclay.com, we provide you with smarter search marketing by doing SEO the right way.
You're terrible at your job.
Well, that's not very nice.
All right, now that you had some action-packed SEO stuff going on, let's go ahead and get into the news. So the Thanksgiving Google holiday search algorithm update, maybe. It seemed like something happened on Friday, maybe Thursday. Of course, it's hard to do with the holidays, but the volatility in the chatter has not stopped since then. It really spiked a lot throughout the week, especially a couple days ago. So if you are noticing significant changes in the Google search results over the past literally week with significant spikes, over the past, couple days, you're definitely not alone. Lots of chatter, lots of discussion, lots of the tools are actually showing these spikes as well. So you are not alone. Again, Google historically in the past year or so has been very volatile, but this past week seems to be even more. So keep that in mind, and hopefully this has not impacted any of your e-commerce sites that you may be selling stuff for the holiday season. Also, Google announced and improved, according to Google, the accuracy of the Google Performance Report in Google Search Console for Discover traffic. Google said, Google has improved their systems for counting Discover clicks and impressions. As a result, you may see an increase in your Discover data that more accurately reflect your site's appearance in Discover. You may see an annotation. Google Discover, again, is the thing that you see Google push to you. It's not a search feature, but if you go to Google's homepage on your mobile device, Google will show you articles. And Google Discover has been pretty popular for certain types of news sites and even other sites to get a lot of traffic randomly. So nothing has changed with that in terms of your Discover traffic has remained the same, although it's very volatile in general, but that report has been updated and is more accurate. So Google, because of that, Google said you may see more clicks and impressions than you usually do, but it's really hard to track Google Search Console's Discover report because it's up and down constantly, any event. So it's a little more accurate, keep that in mind, which is good. Google's been on this link thing for a while. What's interesting is that Google's Dewey Nugan, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong. They did an office hours video this week. They published this week. They probably recorded weeks and weeks ago. Any event, the question that was asked is about backlinks and so forth. And he said, from Google, the Google Search Quality team said, backlinks as a signal has a lot less significant impact compared to when Google Search first launched many years ago. And he also repeated that later, basically saying, again, links are less important, so don't worry. And Google also is able to find manipulative links and discount them automatically. So Google, in general, is saying links is less important. Google said this last week as well. So Google's on this realm of saying, hey, links are definitely not that important. as important as they used to be. They are very important still, but they are not as important as they used to be. So keep that in mind. Google also said, the same person, Dewey, said that we have algorithms to detect and demote people who scrape your content, steal your content, and then use AI to mash it up and change it to make it a little bit better or different. The question was asked about this. This is, how should content creators respond to sites that use AI to plagiarize the content, modify it, and then outrank them in the search results? He responded, scraping content, even with some modifications, is against our spam policy. He then added, many algorithms go after such behavior and demote sites, site scraping content for other sites. So he didn't really mention AI in his response, but he's basically saying if you use scrape content, modify it, change it, Google knows about it and should be able to attack it. If you do find cases where Google's not doing that, let them know, and hopefully Google will improve their algorithms. Google also said, we do not crawl or index niche or shorter content better or more. Basically, his question was, hey, if you go ahead and if shorter content is shorter, maybe it's more efficient and cheaper for you to index that content. Maybe you index it more and better. And John Mueller said, no, it doesn't make a difference. We're not going to go ahead and rank your content more or better just because it's shorter. Interesting question. Never heard it before, but I guess it kind of makes sense. If it's cheaper to crawl and index certain content, maybe Google will crawl it more. The answer is no. And then Alan Kent from Google answered a question that we had answered several years ago. In 2015, Google was asked and answered that URLs should be in the same language as the content. And Alan Kent said in this video several years later that URLs do not have to be in the same language as the content. So if you have English URLs and you have, Japanese content, that's fine. It used to be the case that Google said you do have to have them in the same language. I think it's just a small, minor thing anyway. That doesn't matter. But I like when Google says one thing and then changes their mind several years later. Maybe things changed. Maybe they just misunderstood it. Maybe they just decided to say, you know what? It's probably better for users to have them in the same language, so we're going to go ahead and go with that line. Also, Google's John Mueller said that HTTP 3 is unlikely or very well not going to go ahead and impact your rankings. If you switch everything to HTTP 3, John Mueller said Google doesn't use HTTP as a ranking factor at the moment, and it doesn't use it for crawling still, as we know. But he basically said it's not going to even, that speed improvement that you might see won't have a substantial or meaningful impact in your Core Web Vitals, which is your page experience update, as well as won't have a meaningful impact on your rankings or SEO. So keep that in mind. Don't just switch to HTTP 3 because you think it's going to help you with rankings. And John Mueller also said something interesting. He basically said that if your most important pages are terrible SEO-wise, that is a much bigger issue than if you're, orphaned or very little important pages, your orphan pages or whatever pages are terrible for SEO. So if your most important pages are terrible for SEO, that is a bigger issue for your site as a whole because everything flows down from your main site, from your main page, your most important pages. But if your least important pages are terrible for SEO, it's not as big of an issue. That was interesting to hear him say that. Tim Solo from ARFs, thanks for sponsoring the vlogs, we did a poll asking, is domain age relatively significant as a ranking factor in Google? And the poll was very mixed. 40% of SEOs said yes, it is. 26% said no, it isn't. And the rest said see the results. It's one of those depends answers. Now, Google has told us many, many times over many, many years that domain age, no matter how long you register your domain name for, let's say you do a 10-year registration, or how old your domain name is, you registered it 30 years ago, that has no direct or indirect impact on your rankings in Google. It's nothing to do. Google doesn't look at the age of your domain name to say this should rank better or worse. But I guess most SEOs don't believe them, so keep that in mind. Or many SEOs don't believe them. Google is testing a new map interface, which has new buttons. It's lighter. It also embeds the map area in the snippets. This is spotted by a bunch of SEOs, including Punnett and Mike Blumenfeld and a bunch of others that have found it and shared it with me multiple times. So thanks for sharing it with me. Here's some screenshots of that. A study from Joey Hawkins, a case study from Joey Hawkins, said that longer reviews tend to stay at the top of the Google Business listings, Google Business profile listings for longer. So if you you should encourage basically positive customers. Not really a lot of courage, but you should try to get your customers in a non-encouraging way to leave you reviews in longer reviews because those tend to stay at the top. Generally, longer reviews are negative. So if you get more longer positive reviews, those will stay at the top of your listing longer, according to this one single case study. Also, big news is that Google has officially filed a lawsuit against a company or companies that have been impersonating Google and kind of ripping off and scamming small businesses, telling them they have to pay them to use the Google Business Profiles. Google Business Profiles is a free service that any small business can use to update their business listings in Google. But these telemarketers are calling people. You probably received the phone calls yourselves saying, "I'm from Google, and if you want to go ahead and add your listing to Google, you have to, pay us money," and that's a scam. And Google's suing them. I think $75,000 per company, but I could be wrong, or per customer that they did. I'm not sure, but I'm glad that they're going after them. I'm not sure how much of an impact it will have in the long run, but it's good that Google's actually taking some legal action on these scams. Google Business Profiles now also can show the review time needed for some edits. So this is spotted by Colin, who shared a screenshot that says, when he made an edit, it says, "Your edit is pending. It usually takes about 10 minutes to be reviewed." Pretty cool that Google's showing this. Nice catch, Colin. Also, Google is testing or showing, actually, this is live, a bar that shows positive and unfavorable scale for certain types of characteristics of the reviews. So this is spotted by Christiana, who shared a bar review that shows this little slider that shows like 17% unfavorable, 72% positive about bar related reviews for this listing, which is pretty cool to see it in a graphical view. I see it also, and it seems to be live. And then Google is testing in the local service ads multiple types of headlines, including ad labels. This is spotted by Len, who posted this, and you can see there's an ads label that says "See Plumbers." There's an ads label that says "Here are plumbers," and there's no ads label at all. This says 50 plumbers nearby. Then it says "Sponsored" on the right-hand side, which is a little bit sneaky, but Google likes to test this stuff. Also, Google has launched a new AdSense format called side rail ads. So the side rail ads are only on like desktop browsers, widescreen browsers, where it would stick the ads on the right-hand side or left-hand side, and as you scroll, it will stick there and keep there. As a user, people hate that, but Google launched it, and it will go live with auto ads. You could turn them off if you want to learn more information. Check that out. And then today is the 19th year anniversary, birthday, or whatever you want to call it, of me covering the search industry. Been covering it consistently, generally anywhere from 5 blog posts a day to more, both at Search Engine Roundtable, which is 19 years old today, and Search Engine Watch early on, Search Engine Land continued. But 19 years started at this day on the Search Engine Roundtable. I post some stats about how the growth has happened over the years and so forth, so you want to take a look at that, some of the massive stories over the past years and so forth. But it's good. Things are growing. We saw a 6% increase in traffic. People are definitely reading the content more. And some of the biggest stories, as you can imagine, are Google update related, which is interesting, of course. The helpful content was a big thing. The core updates were always big. So those were some of the bigger updates. If you want to take a look at the most important topics that I pulled out, I manually pulled out a list of over the past year. I went through every single story and pulled out what I think are the most important stories you have to read. I did that. And then I looked at Google Analytics and said, here are the most top 12 or top 10 or something viewed stories. So definitely take a look at that. I spent some time putting that post together. In any event, thank you so much to all the readers, listeners, commenters, everybody who does all that stuff. I appreciate you reading, commenting, sharing your information. I couldn't do this without the community. Keep it going. Hope to do this for another 19 plus years. And thanks again for everyone. In any event, thanks to our sponsor, Bruce Clay, of course. Thanks to you for watching and reading and listening and commenting and sharing. And everyone have a great, healthy, safe, and peaceful weekend. And I'll see you guys next. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz, and that was a Search Buzz video recap covering the news at the Search Engine Roundtable. Bye-bye.